Attack the enemy! Victory is ours!
Good morning, everyone. So, in the continuing quest to get that first good battle in the STA-1, here I was playing some more awful 6.38 Axis tank gameplay, and we got a nice linear domination map on Eastern Europe. One of my favorite setups for when I'm trying to grind modifications, because it's almost assuredly a guarantee that you can get at least the first capture. You may not always be able to get much after that, but the first capture usually a lock. Unless you're in something really slow and somebody in something really fast shoots on ahead and caps it without waiting. I feel like the word has fairly well spread around to wait for people, because everybody gets extra SP, it helps your team to win and have a better chance with extra respawns, but apparently it's not 100% across all of the teams. You can see that the first Panther who's out of frame there waited, and then the second Panther just barrels on in and he's just gonna start the cap, and you can see some of our team was in the cap, but four of our heavies back there were not going to make it in. Now, one or two of them probably weren't going to even try to come in the cap anyway. But still, we've got two Tigers coming up behind us who definitely were on their way towards the capture point, and it would have been nice for them to get the extra 300 spawn points. But I feel like I've covered that in a video before, once or twice maybe. So anyway, I am rolling on forward and just stop to explain what I'm all irate about here, and then going to push forward up to the B point and see if we can't start taking that away from the enemy. I have, since the last video of the STA-1, I'm up to having the filters finished on it, so it's slightly faster in the acceleration, but it is still certainly feels very lacking in its mobility still. I'm hopeful that when I get the engine and transmission modifications, it'll feel a little bit less sluggish and a little more snappy in its responsive, I don't know, responsiveness, I guess, but so far not really. I'm just kind of looking forward to replacing it with the higher tier stuff, which is still going to be a little while, but hopefully before too long. So without the rest of the team really pushing in with me, I was trying to be a little cautious here and sweep around the surroundings, check over off to the right, look over off to the trees where there usually are going to be enemies there, right back there, and didn't see anybody. Now I spot somebody right there with a bunch of bushes up on the front of his tank. Couldn't exactly specifically identify him here, and if he didn't already see me, he almost certainly would have seen that tree get knocked down. So I'm trying to creep into the shell hole and just bring up the gun in a hull down position over the top, and then I look and see that it is in fact a Churchill. I wasn't exactly sure what type it was, or if it was a Black Prince or whatever. I knew it wasn't a Black Prince, but definitely a Churchill. And he gets killed right before I can get my turret up. Then I'm trying to back around to line up to get into the B point, and I get one hit killed by a Comet, who was just over to my left. So, time to come back in the M41A1. The first good battle in the STA-1 is going to have to wait. Now you can see that Comet gets lit up there. I was ready to mark him on the map, but as soon as we came back into the battle, you can see that he's been killed there on the bottom right. So, heard an airplane flying by, came to a stop so I could get my machine guns up on target, and actually got a hit on him. I couldn't exactly tell what he was right there, and switched over my main ammo to my smoke shells, because I've had it in my mind ever since smoke shells came out. I want to get an air kill on with the tank using a smoke shell. So I'm still trying and waiting for my first real good opportunity to do that. I've had a couple chances to do it, and I've just missed the target. And I was waiting for him to line up here and just killed him with the machine guns before I even had a chance to fire smoke round. So I guess that will still have to wait. So, since we're moving back up to take over the B point, I emptied the smoke shell out of my gun and re-switched over to the APDS, and then thought better of it and thought, well, I'm going to roll up into the B point. If I run into an enemy, either he's going to kill me first shot, or at least I can fire smoke at him or right in front of him and mask myself and try to get away. So, since I knew there wasn't anybody else from the enemy team close to B last I had seen, right when I got killed by that Comet, I was chancing that there wouldn't be anyone there and I'd be able to spread some smoke around and cover myself. So here is a really good example for you guys of how useful smoke can be if you're by yourself in sort of deep in enemy territory and trying to capture a point. So the smoke lasts long enough, and the reload, at least on the M41, it's not as fast on a lot of tanks, but at least for the M41 it's fast enough that I can kind of cover myself with smoke rounds, especially from guys camping across the river, and I'm essentially covered between this building to my left and the 4 smoke rounds I fired. There's not really anywhere where anyone can see me. Now, you gotta be careful because you don't really want to block off your team's vision, but in this case, I don't think I fired anywhere where my team was specifically going to be looking at an enemy and firing, and I was able to take the B point away without any contact. And you can see that an M18 was just knocked out right up in front of me to the left here, where that smoke plume is, and in a second he'll despawn. There we go. So you can definitely see there was an M18 up there, so the team took him out, very thankfully for me. And I'm going to roll on in and try to press for the A point now. Our team starts taking A. You can hear some kind of a Crusader AAA probably firing over here. I'm trying to locate him. I can see where he's probably firing from, but I can't actually get a shot at him. Then he gets taken out, and it was in fact a Crusader AA Mark II. Just like I thought. Now I can hear aircraft overhead. I know it's not friendly looking at the map, and I'm going to get up here and, again, start firing some smoke rounds off to cover myself and cover the Tiger that's in the cap with me. Now, something else that happened a lot in this battle. You can see that my random squad mate there in stress is asking, where is the T-44-122? Because there's the T-44-122 out there that kills 5 people on our team before we finally get him knocked out. And none of the 5 people who he killed said a word the entire time. And that's a frustrating thing. The guys that are left alive on your team would really like to take care of the guy that killed you. So, say something. If you can't click on the map after you get killed because you don't have enough spawn points, that's fine. Just type something in chat. Just say, hey, that T-44-122 is wherever, or some sort of preferably geographical reference. North, south, east, or west, or something. Or, you know, he's right behind our spawn. Something that gives people, not just to the left, because to the left doesn't mean the same thing to everyone, depending what direction they're facing. Anyhow, I fired artillery at this target right here, but it was that M4A1 who had just been killed by the Tiger E there. So we've got 4 enemies left, and we're actually doing pretty well on our team, which was a nice refreshing change with 6.3. I'm waiting to get some reloads on my smoke shells, and then you can see that 2 of the enemy at least are at B and C. Now one of them was the M18 who just got killed right there at B. So B is knocked out. I'm heading to B, I'm going to recapture B, and then I'm going to move in on C. And you can hear an aircraft go flying overhead again. Now the other thing is we've got 3 guys in their spawn while they're capturing 2 of the points, the 2 points farthest away from their spawn. So obviously our team needs to understand that the enemies are not in their spawn, and we certainly don't need 3 of you sitting in their spawn, so get back out here and help. Now again, I'm going to put some smoke out because I'm getting strafed and I have no idea what sort of ordnance he might have because he's thrown up so much dirt and stuff from strafing me that I can't even tell what kind of aircraft he is. So, back to the smoke covering as much as possible here. Thank goodness for the M41's reload. At least it's fast enough that you can fairly quickly get a few rounds of smoke around you. Get some decent coverage. Now there's the T-44-122 again, killing somebody. And they don't say anything about it. I didn't hear a T-44 shoot at all, so I don't even know where this guy is. I'm assuming he's probably back around our spawn somewhere. If he was up forward, we would have heard and or seen him and been able to react to him. So I've retaken the B point. I'm coming in to help out this Tiger here, who is sitting inside the C point now, or the A point rather. No, C. Sorry, I didn't look at the map. And I'm going to switch back over to smoke again because we know there's a T-44-122 around somewhere who can take care of me very quickly. And there's at least 1 aircraft overhead as well. And he's dropping bombs. And boy, did he drop those bombs close! That's one of the funnier bomb effect bounces I've ever had. Including the Su-85 getting flipped over and landing back on its tracks. So we're presuming that the T-44-122 must be up near the little village bit. And he just killed a panther back there behind me, so he's somewhere down to the south of us, of our spawn. But we can't exactly tell where he is, because again, nobody's saying anything. And then he gets killed by the tiger, so it turns out he was actually in the middle of the map along the canal or the river. But he has in fact now been knocked out after killing 5 people on our team. So time to press back forward up to the B point and take up a defensive position and see if we can't cover the rest of the guys that are left on their team that are not in aircraft. Because they've still got 4 players alive. So I'm assuming at least 1 or 2 of them are probably across the river. Or maybe camping up near the windmill all the way in the southeast, but who knows. Getting strafed by somebody, and as I get around the corner in case he's got bombs or rockets, I know he's going to overfly me here in a second. And I can't see him, so I'm going to try to knock this tree down. Naturally, there's another tree right behind it, and then he finally comes into view going into his climb. So he rolls away where I can't get another shot at him, so I'm going to move. And as I'm moving, I hear another aircraft coming, and I get my camera turned around just in time to see something with multiple engines go by very quickly at low altitude, which means it's going to be carrying some kind of bombs. Maybe even rockets. I couldn't exactly tell what it was, but I know for sure there are 2 enemy aircraft up. And like I said, 2 air, 1 of them is big. I couldn't get a good look at it, but I know it's something. So I'm going to turn around, try to get myself a good aim at the aircraft coming in. Switch my cannon rounds over to smoke again, although the one in the chamber is in fact APDS still. Just couldn't quite get the aim on that B-25 going over, and then couldn't see the little guy in time to even get a machine gun shot at him. Relocated slightly and reloaded and got back into position. Start opening up with my machine guns on the B-25. Get a hit on him from distance. And then zoom in. He lines up nicely for me. And that happened. Yes, I did in fact kill him with a smoke round. I wasn't sure at first until I realized that that smoke hanging in the air wouldn't be there unless I hit him with it. And we'll do a couple slow motion replays just to get a better look at it. Now the smoke shells don't have any tracer. There's no tracer on them, so you can't see the path of the smoke shell. Unfortunately, that's a machine gun round right there. That's not the smoke round that just flew out. And there it is. Detonation with the smoke shell, impact with the smoke shell, detonation with the smoke shell, and wingtip gone. He did actually drop bombs, too. And that was a pretty perfect shot for a thumbnail, I thought, so that's where I got it from, was from this slow-mo replay. And remember, if you don't believe me that the smoke shell hit him, that smoke shell would not have detonated unless it actually hit something. It would have just continued onwards off into the distance and blown up somewhere way back in the trees. Now, normally I would have trimmed out this bit where I zoomed, but it was a little too perfect. And I've got one more angle. Now I am the red tracer fire there, so if you're wondering where I am, I've just fired the main gun. I'm the only guy firing red tracers. There it is. Smoke shell on the left wing. And he did get his bombs off at our Tiger there. So majestic. And like I said, bombs away. And I even got that shot off right before the end of the battle. And there's the guy there at the end saying, really? That was actually the B-25 pilot. After I said I shot his wing off with a smoke shell. But that was it. I thought it was pretty hilarious myself. I've been trying to get an anti-air kill with a tank smoke shell, and I finally did it. So you can see, my first place, 38,000 lines, not too bad. I didn't have any boosters turned on. 2 air kills, no tank kills, 5 captures. I know it's not exactly the most exciting gameplay up until the air kills, but that's how it goes sometimes. I thought it was worth it on the anti-tank or the anti-air kill with the smoke shell alone, but the rest of the battle still was a first place. And that'll do it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thank you for stopping by and checking it out. Have a great day, everyone, and congratulations to the Golden Eagle winner. We'll see you all next time. Have a great day.